There's an art to the building up of suspense. Heads, though it can be done by luck alone. Heads, if that's the word I'm after.
76, love.
Heads, a weaker woman may be moved to re-examine her faith, if in nothing else, at least in the law of probability.
Heads.
The law of probability. If 6 monkeys were
Gamed?
Were they?
Are you?
Game. The law of averages. If 6 monkeys were thrown in the air long enough, they'd land on their tails about as often as they'd land on their heads. I mean, you wouldn't bet on it. Well, I would, but you wouldn't.
Heads.
Would you?
Heads. Heads. Getting to be a bit of a bore, don't you think?
A bore!
What about the suspense? What suspense?
I feel the spell about to be broken. Well, it was an even chance, if my calculations are correct.
85 in a row. Beating the record.
Don't be absurd.
Easily.
Wait, is that it? Is that all?
What?
A new record. Is that as far as you're prepared to go?
Well,
No questions, not even a pause.
you spun them yourself.
Don't flicker them down.
Well, I won, didn't I?
And if you'd lost, if they'd come down against you 85 times, just like that?
85 times? Tails?
Yes. What would you think?
Well, well, I'd have a good look at your coins for a start.
I'm relieved. At least we can still count on self-interest. It's a predictable fact. Touch. We've been spinning coins together since. This is not the first time we've spun coins.
Oh no, we've been spinning coins as long as I remember.
Well, how long is that?
I forget. Mind you, 85 times!
Yes?
It'll take some beating, I imagine.
Oh, is that what you imagine? Is that it? No fear?
Fear?
Fear! The crack that might flood your brain with light!
Heads! I'm afraid...
So am I.
I'm afraid it isn't your day.
I'm afraid it is.
86.
Are you happy?
What?
Content? At ease?
I suppose so.
What are you going to do now?
I don't know. What do you want to do?
I have no desires. None. There was a messenger. That's right, no, there was a messenger we had been sent for. Discuss. Not too heatedly.
I'm sorry. What's the matter with you?
The scientific approach to the examination of phenomena is a defense against the pure emotion of fear. We have been spinning coins together since I don't know when, but in all of that time, I don't suppose either of us was a couple of coins up or down. The sun came up about as often as it came down in the long run, and a coin showed tails about as often as it showed heads. Then a messenger arrived. We've been sent for. Nothing else happened. 85 coins spun consecutively have come down heads 85 consecutive times. For the last 3 minutes on the wind of a windless day, I have heard the sound of a flute. Do you remember the first thing that happened today?
Well, I woke up, I suppose. Oh, I've got it now. That man, a foreigner, he woke us up.
A messenger.
That's right. A messenger. Pale sky before dawn. A man standing on his saddle to bang on the shutter shouts, "What's all the row about? Clear off!" But then he said our names. You remember that? This man woke us up.
Yes.
That's why we're here.
Yes.
We were sent for.
Yes.
It was urgent, a matter of extreme urgency, official business, his very words, a royal summons, fearful lest we come too late.
Too late for what?
How should I know? We haven't gotten there yet.
Then what are we doing here, I imagine?
You might well ask.
We better get on.
You might well think.
We better get on.
Right. On where?
Forward.
Ah. Wait, which way are we? Do you know where we're going? No idea.
Practically starting from scratch. A message, a summons, a new record for heads and tails. We've not been picked out simply to be abandoned, set loose to find our own way. We are entitled to some direction, I would have thought.
say, I can hear a flute.
Yes?
Like a band. I thought I heard a band.
Yes?
It couldn't have been real.
The colors red, blue, and green are real. The color yellow is a mystical experience shared by everyone.
It must have been thunder, like a flute. Look, here they come. Wait.
Halt! An audience. Oh, don't move. Perfect. A good thing we came along.
For us?
Well, to meet two ladies on the side of the road. We would have hoped not to meet them often.
No.
Well, met in fact, and just in time.
Why's that?
Why, we grow rusty, and you catch us at the very point of decadence. And by this time tomorrow, we might have forgotten everything we ever knew. Isn't that a thought? We'd be back right where we started, improvising.
Tumblers, are you?
We can give you a tumble if that's your taste. And for a jingle of coin, we can give you a selection of gory romances full of cadences and corpses. Ah! Tragedians! At your command.
My name is Guildenstern. Oh, I'm so sorry. My name is Rosencrantz, and this is Guildenstern.
Oh, a pleasure. We play to bigger, of course, but quality counts for something. You were...
Who are we?
as fellow artists.
And I thought we were very late.
For some of us, it is patronage. For others, performance. There's the same side to the same coin, or, being that there's so many of us, the same side of two coins. Oh, don't clap too loudly. It's a very old world.
What is your line?
Tragedies, deaths, and disclosures, universal and particular. We transport you into a world of intrigue and illusion. Woo! Clowns, if you like, murderers. We can do you battles. We can also do you heroes, villains, torment lovers, set pieces, and poetic things. Getting warm out.
Well, I don't know.
It costs little to watch, and a little more if you happen to get caught up in the action, times being what they are.
What are they?
Indifferent.
Bad?
Wicked. Now, precisely what is your pleasure? Actors, disport yourselves. There. See anything you like?
What do they do?
Let your imagination run riot. They are beyond surprise.
And how much?
To take part.
To watch?
How watch what?
A private performance?
How private.
Well, there are only two of us. Is that enough?
For an audience, disappointing. For voyeurs, about average.
What's the difference?
10 guilders.
10 guilders?
I mean 8.
Together?
Each. I don't think you understand.
What are you saying?
What I am saying is 7.
Where have you been?
Roundabouts. A nest of children carries a custom of the town. Juvenile companies, they are the fashion. But they cannot match our repertoire. We'll stoop to anything.
They'll grow up.
There's one born every day. Onward.
Wait a minute.
Oh! We're going home, miss.
Where from?
Home. We're traveling people. We take our chances where we find them.
It was chance then.
Chance?
You found us.
Oh, yes.
You were looking?
Oh, no.
Chance then.
Or fate.
Yours or ours?
It couldn't be one without the other.
Fate then.
Oh, yes, we have no control. Tonight we play to the court, or the night after, or to the tavern, or not.
Perhaps I can use my influence.
At the tavern?
At the court, I would say I have some influence.
Would you say so?
I have influence yet.
Yes, what?
I have influence. You said something about getting caught up in the action.
I did. You're a little quicker than your friend. Now, for a handful of guilders, I can give you a private and uncut performance. Alfred, get your skirt on. And for 8, you can participate, taking either part or both pretend with encores. Get your skirt on, Alfred.
It didn't have to be obscene. It could have been a bird out of season dropping bright feathers on my shoulder. It could have been a tongueless dwarf by the side of the road to point the way. But is it? Nothing classical, not pretentious, no dignity, just this?
You should have caught us in better times. We were purists then. Onward!
Wait!
Halt!
You're not exclusively actors then.
We're inclusively actors, miss.
So you give exhibitions.
Performances, miss.
Yes, there's more money in that, is there?
There's more trade, miss.
You know, I've never been the type to.
No.
You know, sit down and tell us about some of the things you people do.
We keep to our usual stuff, more or less. Except we do things on stage that are supposed to happen off, which is a kind of integrity if you look at every exit being an entrance somewhere else.
Well, I'm not really the type of woman who... No, but don't hurry up! Come back and sit down and tell us about some of the things you people do.
Onward!
Just a minute.
Do you like being an actor?
Yes, ma'am.
You and I, Alfred, we could create a dramatic precedent here.
Do you know any good plays?
Oh, plays!
Exhibition.
I thought you said you were actors.
Well, we are, but they're...
You lost. Well then, one of the Greeks, perhaps? The great homicidal classics? Matro, patro, fratro, satro, sorority, auxiliary, and goes without saying. Suicidal, maidens aspiring to Godhead,
And vice versa.
your kind of thing, is it?
Well, we're more of a blood, love, and rhetoric type school.
Well, I'll leave the choice to you if there's anything to choose.
Well, there is. I can do blood in love without the rhetoric. I can do rhetoric in blood without the love. I can do you all three, but I cannot do rhetoric in love without the blood. See, blood is compulsory. They're all blood.
Is that what people want?
That's what we do.
Thank you. We'll let you know.
38.
Position?
Yes.
One of your tableau.
No.
Oh.
All right. Exits there and there. Understood?
Are you going to change into your costume?
I already am in my costume, miss.
Always in character.
That's it.
Well, are you going to come on?
I am.
But if you are on, then you can't come on now, can you?
I start on.
But it hasn't started. Go on, we'll look out for you.
I'll give you a wave. Onward!
Welcome, Rosencrantz and Guildenstern. Moreover, that we did much long to see you. The need we have to use you did provoke our hasty sending. Anything have you heard of Hamlet's transformation, so-called? Sith nor exterior, nor the inward man resembles that it was. What it should be more than his father's death that thus hath put him. So far from understanding himself, I cannot dream much. I entreat you both, that of being such young days brought up with him, and sit so neighbor to his youth and behavior, that you vouchsafe your rest here in our court some little time, as to draw much pleasures, and gather from occasion what you may glean. Whether aught to him unknown afflicts thus, that lies in our remedies.
Dear, gentle ladies, he hath much talked of you, and sure I am, two friends there is not living to whom he more adheres. If it would please you to show us so much gentry and goodwill, as to expand your time with us a while, for the supply and profit of our hope, your visitation shall receive such thanks as fits a king's remembrance.
Both your majesties, put your dread pleasures more into command than to entreaty.
But we both obey, and here give up ourselves in the full tent, to lay our services freely, to be commanded.
Thank you, Rosencrantz and gentle Guildenstern.
Thank you, Guildenstern and gentle Rosencrantz. And I beseech you instantly to visit my too much changed son.
Heaven make our presence and our practices both pleasant and helpful to you.
Aye, amen.
My good lord, the ambassadors from Norway are joyfully returned.
Polonius, thou hast been the father of good news.
Why, my lord, assure you, my good liege, I hold my duty as I hold my soul, both to my God and to my gracious king, and I do think, or else this brain of mine will stop the trail of policy so sure as it used to, that I found the very cause of Hamlet's lunacy.
I want to go home.
Don't let them confuse you.
I'm out of my step here.
I'll hie you home in.
Over my head.
I'll dry you high.
Out of my depth.
I'll hie you home.
I'm over my head body. I tell you, it's all stopping to a death. It's boating to a death. It's all heading to a dead stop.
There, it'll soon be home, high and dry. Has it ever happened to you before that all of a sudden, for no reason at all, you can't quite remember how to spell the words wife or house because you write them down and you don't remember ever having seen those words in that order before?
I remember.
Yes?
I remember when there were no questions.
There were always questions. To exchange one set for another is no great matter.
Answers, yes. There were answers to everything.
You've forgotten.
I haven't forgotten. How I used to remember my own name and yours, oh yes. There were answers everywhere you looked.
A man standing in the half-lit, half-alive dawn banged on the shutters and called two names. He was just a hat and a cloak levitating in the gray plume of his own breath. But when he called, we came. How much is certain? We came.
Well, I can tell you I'm sick to death of it.
We can't afford anything quite so arbitrary. If we start questioning everything now, it'll just be a shambles.
For how long?
Till events have played themselves out. There's a logic at work. It's all been done for you. Just enjoy it. Relax. Do I contradict myself?
I can't remember. What have we got to go on?
We have been briefed. Hamlet's transformation. What do you recollect?
Hamlet is not himself, outside or in. The exterior man fails to resemble
Prime on to pleasures. Glean what afflicts him.
something more than his father's death.
He's always talking about us. There are two people living whom he dotes on more than us.
We cheer him up. We find out what's the matter.
Exactly. It's a matter of asking the right questions and giving away as little as we can. It's a game.
And then we can go.
And receive such thanks as fits a king's remembrance.
I like the sound of that. What do you think he means by remembrance?
Difficult to say, really. Some kings tend to be amnesic. The others, I suppose, the opposite? Whatever that is.
Yes, but
Elephantine.
not how long, how much.
Retentive. He's a very retentive king, a royal retainer.
What are you playing at?
Words. Words. They're all we have to go on.
We could play a question.
What good would that do?
Practice.
Statement. One love.
Cheating.
How?
I hadn't started yet.
Statement. Two love.
Are you counting that?
What?
Are you counting that?
Foul. No repetitions. Three love. First game.
I'm not going to play if you're going to be like that.
Who's serve?
Huh?
Foul. No grunts. Love.
Who's go?
Why?
Why not?
What for?
Foul, no synonyms, 1 all.
What in God's name is going on?
Foul, no rhetoric, 2-1.
What does all that up to?
Can't you guess?
Were you addressing me?
Is there anyone else?
Who?
How would I know?
Why do you ask?
Can't you guess?
Are you deaf?
Am I dead?
Yes or no?
Is there a choice?
Is there a God?
Foul, no non sequiturs, 3, 2, 1, game all.
What's your name?
What's yours?
I asked you first.
Statement, 1 love.
What's your name when you're at home?
What's yours?
When I'm at home?
Is it different at home?
What home?
Haven't you got one?
What's your name?
Repetition, 2 love.
Who do you think you are?
Rhetoric, game and match. Where is it going to end?
That's the question.
It's all questions.
Do you think it matters?
Doesn't it matter to you?
Does it matter why?
What does it matter why?
Don't be stupid!
Sorry.
Guildenstern!
What?
Consistency is all I ask.
Immortality is all I seek.
Give us this day our daily week. Glean what afflicts him.
Me?
Him.
How?
Question and answer. Old ways are the best ways.
He's afflicted.
You question, I'll answer.
He's not himself, you know.
I'm him, you see.
Who am I then?
You're yourself.
Let's go back a bit.
I'm afflicted.
I see.
Glean what afflicts
likes me. How should I begin?
Address me.
My dear Rosencrantz.
You've forgotten, haven't you?
My dear Guildenstern.
I don't think you quite understand. What we are attempting here is a hypothesis in which I answer for him while you ask me questions.
Ah, ready?
You know what to do.
What?
Are you stupid?
Pardon?
Are you deaf?
Did you
Not now!
statement?
Not now!
Perhaps I'll come back this way. Should we go?
Why?
Oh, you mean you answer for him and I ask you questions.
Very good.
You had me confused.
I could see I had.
How should I begin? Address me, my honored lord.
My dear Rosencrantz.
Am I pretending to be you then?
Certainly not. If you like. Shall we continue?
Question and answer.
Right.
Right. My honored lord.
My dear fellow.
How are you?
Afflicted.
Really? In what way?
Transformed.
Inside or out?
Both.
I see. Not much new there.
Go into details. Delve. Establish the background.
So your uncle was the king of Denmark.
And my father before him.
His father before him.
No, my father before him.
But surely,
You may well ask.
to sum up, your father was king. You are his only son. Your father dies. You are his heir. Your uncle becomes king.
Exactly.
Unorthodox.
Undid me.
Undeniable. Where were you?
In Germany.
Usurpation then.
He slipped in.
Well, I don't want to be personal.
It's common knowledge.
Your mother's marriage.
He slipped in.
His body was still warm.
So was hers.
Extraordinary.
Indecent.
Hasty.
Suspicious.
It makes you think.
Don't think I haven't thought of it.
And with her husband's brother.
They were close.
She went to him.
Too close.
For comfort.
It looks bad.
It adds up.
Incest to adultery.
Would you go so far?
Never.
To sum up, your father, whom you love, dies. You come back to find that hardly was the corpse cold before his young brother popped onto his throne and into his sheets, thereby offending both legal and natural practice. Now tell me, why exactly are you behaving in this extraordinary manner?
I can't imagine. But all of that is well known. Common property. Yet he called for us and we did come.
I say, I thought I heard a flute.
We're here. Rosencrantz! What? Guildenstern!
What?
Don't you discriminate at all?
What?
Go and see if he's there.
Who?
There!
Yes.
What's he doing?
Talking.
To himself?
No.
Is he alone?
No.
Then he's not talking to himself, is he?
Not by himself. Coming this way, I think. Should we go?
Why? We're marched now.
For you yourself, sir, should be as old as I am. If like a crab, you could go backward.
Though this be madness, yet there's method in it. Will you walk out of the air, my lord?
Into my grave.
Indeed, that's out of the air. My lord, I will take my leave of you.
You cannot take from me anything I will more willingly part with all. Accept my life, accept my life, accept my life.
Very well, my lord. You seek Lord Hamlet. There he is.
God save you, sir.
My honored lord.
My most dear lord.
My excellent good friends. Blood, there is something in this more than natural, if philosophy could find it out.
They're the players.
Gentle ladies, you're welcome to Elsinore. Your hands, come then. The impertinence of welcome is fashion and ceremony. Let me comply with you in this garb, lest my extent to the players should appear more entertainment than yours. You are welcome. But my aunt mother and uncle father are deceived.
In what, my lord?
I am but mad northwest. And when the wind is southerly, I know a hawk from a hand song.
Well be with you.
Mark you, Guildenstern, and you too. At each ear a hearer. That great baby you see there is not yet out of the swaddling clouts.
My lord, I have news to tell you.
My lord, I had news to tell you. When Rosius was an actor in Rome.
The actors are come hither, my lord.
Buzz.
Yes?
What?
I thought you...
No.
Oh.
I think we can say we made some headway.
You think so?
I think we can say that.
I think we can say he made us look ridiculous.
Well, we played it close to the chest, of course.
Question and answer. Old ways are the best ways. He was scoring off us all down the line.
He caught us on the wrong foot once or twice, but I think we gained some ground.
He murdered us.
He may have had the edge.
Hardly a leading question between us.
We got his symptoms, didn't we?
Half of what he said meant something else, and the other half didn't mean anything at all.
Thwarted ambition, a sense of grievance. That's my diagnosis.
6 rhetorical and 2 repetition, leaving 19 of which we answered 60. And what did we get in return? He's depressed. Denmark's a prison, and he'd rather live in a nutshell. Some shadow play about the nature of ambitions. Just being friendly.
Well, somebody might come in. It's what we're counting on, after all, ultimately. Where? I don't know, hopefully from there, or there, or there. What was the first thing that happened today?
I can't remember.
We cross our bridges and then burn them behind us, with nothing to show for our progress except the smell of smoke and the presumption that once our eyes pottered.
Come on!
Follow him, friends. We're here to play tomorrow. Dost thou hear me, old friend? We play the murder of Gonzaga.
Aye, my lord.
We'll hat tomorrow night. We could for need study a speech of some 12 or 16 lines, which I would set down and insert in it. Could you not?
Aye, my lord.
Very well. Follow that lord, and look you mock him not. My good friends, I'll leave you till tonight. You're welcome to Elsinore.
Good, my lord.
So you've caught up.
Oh, not yet.
Now watch your tongue or we'll have it out and throw the rest of you away, like a nightingale at a Roman feast.
Took the very words out of my mouth.
You'd be lost for words.
You'd be tongue-tied.
like a mute in a monologue.
Like a nightingale at a Roman feast.
Your diction will go to pieces.
Your lines will be cut
to dumb show.
and dramatic pauses.
You'll never find your tongue.
Lick your lips.
Taste your tears.
Your breakfast.
You won't know the difference.
There won't be any.
We'll take the very words out of your mouth.
So you've caught on.
So you've caught up.
Not yet. You left us.
Ah, yes, I remember. You performed a dramatic spectacle on the way. I'm so sorry we had to miss it.
You don't understand the humiliation of it. To be tricked out of the single assumption which makes our existence viable, that somebody was watching.
Is that 38?
There we were, demented children mincing about in clothes no one ever wore, speaking as no man ever spoke, swearing love in wigs and rhyme couplets, killing each other with wooden swords. We ransomed our dignity to the clouds, and the uncomprehending birds listened. Don't you see? We're actors. We're the opposite of people. Now think in your mind of the most deepest, private, most intimate secret, sworn in the secrecy of your knowledge. Are you thinking of it? Well, I saw you do it!
You never! It's a lie!
We're actors. We pledged our identities, secure in the knowledge of our trade that somebody was watching. And then gradually, no one was. We were caught, high and dry, and it was not until the murderer's long soliloquy that we were able to look around, frozen as we were in profile. We searched you out, first confidently, then hesitantly, then desperately, as each log, as each patch of dirt, as each corner proved uninhabited by the king's dreary guilt. No one came forward. No one shouted at us. The silence was unbreakable. It imposed itself upon us. It was obscene. We took off our crowns and cloths of gold and swords and moved silently along the road to Elsinore.
Brilliantly recreated. If these eyes could weep.
We are counting on you to take him out of himself. You are the pleasures with which we draw him onto, and by that I don't mean your usual filth. You know nothing of royalty, and they know nothing of you to your mutual survival. So give him a good, clean show suitable for all the family, or you can rest assured you'll be playing the tavern tonight.
Or the night after.
Or not.
But we've always had an entry here, and we always have had.
You've played for him before?
Yes, miss.
What's his bent?
Classical.
Saucy.
What will you play?
The murder of Gonzago.
Full of fine cadence and corpses.
Pirated from the Italian.
What is it about?
Well, it's about a king and a queen.
Escapism. What else?
Blood.
Love and rhetoric.
Yes.
Where are you going?
I think come and go as I please.
You're evidently a man who knows his way around.
I've been here before.
We're still finding our feet.
And I should concentrate you on not losing your heads.
Do you speak from knowledge?
Precedent.
You've been here before.
And I know which way the wind is blowing.
Operating on 2 levels, are we? How clever. I guess you're in the business, so to speak.
Uncertainty is a normal state. You're nobody special.
But what are we supposed to do?
Relax. Respond. That's what you're supposed to do. You can't go through life questioning every situation at every turn.
But none of it makes sense. How are we supposed to act?
Act natural. At least you know why you're here.
We only know what we're told, and that's little enough. For all we know, it's not even true.
For all we know, what is? It's the currency of living. And as long as it is taken on honesty, that's all that matters. One acts on assumptions. What do you assume?
Hamlet is not himself, outside or in. We have to glean what afflicts him.
He doesn't give much away.
Who does nowadays?
He's melancholy.
Melancholy?
Mad.
How is he mad?
How is he mad?
More morose than mad, perhaps.
Melancholy?
Mad, moody. He has moods.
Or moroseness?
Madness, and yet,
Quite.
for instance,
He talks to himself, which might be madness,
if he didn't talk sense, which he does,
which suggests the opposite.
Of what?
I think I have it. A man talking sense to himself is no more mad than a man talking nonsense not to himself.
Or just as mad.
Or just as mad.
And he is both.
So there you have it.
Stark raving sane.
Why?
Why?
Exactly.
Exactly what?
Exactly why?
Exactly why what?
What?
Why?
Why what exactly?
Why is he mad?
I don't know.
The old man is in love with his daughter.
Good God, we're out of our depth here.
No. He hasn't got a daughter. The old man thinks he's in love with his daughter.
The old man is.
Hamlet. The old man thinks he's in love with his daughter.
It's beginning to make sense now. Unrequited passion.
Nobody leaves this room without a very good reason.
Why not?
The whole thing is getting too arbitrary by half. I'm rapidly losing my grip. From now on, reason will prevail.
I have lines to learn.
What did you expect?
Someone? Something? Nothing? Are you hungry?
No, are you?
No. You remember that coin?
No.
I think I lost it.
What coin?
I don't remember exactly.
Oh, that coin! How clever!
I can't remember how I did it.
It probably comes naturally to you.
Yes, I've got a showstopper there.
Do it again.
We can't afford it.
Yes. One must think of the future.
It's the natural thing.
To have one, anyways. One is having it all the time. Now, and now, and now.
It could go on forever. Well, not forever, I suppose. Do you ever think of yourself as actually dead? Lying in a box with a lid on it?
No.
Nor do I, really. It's silly to be depressed by it. One thinks of it like being alive in a box when he's forgetting to take into account that one is dead, which should make all the difference, really. I mean, naturally, you'd prefer to be alive. I mean, you could lie there thinking, well, at least I'm not dead. In a minute, someone's going to come and bang on the lid and tell me to come out. Hey, you! Come out of there!
You don't have to flog it to death.
I wouldn't think about it if I were you. You'd only get depressed. Eternity is a terrible thought. I mean, where's it going to end? There must have been one, a moment in childhood when you first realized you don't go on forever. What does one make of that?
Did he receive you well?
Most like a gentleman.
Much forcing of his disposition.
Negative questions, but of our demands most free in his reply.
Did he essay you to any pastime?
Madam, it so fell out that we aren't on the way of players, and of these we did tell of him, and there did seem in him a kind of joy to hear of it. They're here about the court, and as I think they have already ordered this knight to play before him.
'Tis most true, and he beseech me to entreat your majesties to hear and see the matter.
With all my heart, it doth content me to hear him so inclined. Fair ladies, give him further edge, and drive his purpose into these delights. Sweet Gertrude, leave us too, for we have closely sent for Hamlet hither, and he may hear, as were by accident, affront Ophelia.
They just keep coming in and out, on and off. They're coming at us from all sides.
You're never satisfied.
Why can't we go by them?
What's the difference?
I'm going.
He's coming. What's he doing? Walking? On his hands?
No, on his feet.
Stark naked?
Fully dressed.
Selling toffee out?
Not that I noticed.
Well, you could be wrong.
I don't think so.
I can't for the life of me see how we're going to get into conversation with him.
Nymph and thy orisons be all my sins remembered.
Good, my lord. How does your honor for this many a
I
day?
humbly thank you. Well.
It's like living in a public park.
Yes, very good. I thought your direct, informal approach was going to stop this thing dead in its tracks. But if I may make one suggestion, sit down, shut up, and stop being perverse.
I'm not going to stand for it.
We haven't got much time.
What are you doing?
Dress rehearsal. Now, if you two would please move. Please. Oh, there. Thank you. Everyone ready? And for goodness sakes, remember what you're doing. We use the same costumes, more or less. It brings out the best in them. Alfred, stop picking your nose. Silence! Act 1 moves now.
Full 30 times, have
No. Dumb show first. They're a bit out of practice, you see, but they'll make up wonderfully in their deaths.
How nice.
There's nothing more unconvincing than an unconvincing death.
I'm sure.
Hamlet's father and Queen Mother embrace. She confronts him. And then begs him. He takes her up, declining her head upon his neck. He lies down. She, seeing him asleep, leaves him.
What's the dumb show for?
Well, it's a device, really. It makes up for things that are more or less comprehensible, you see. We are stuck to a language which lacks in obscurity and makes up in style. Claudius enters the room as well. But wait! He picks up the king's crown, places it on top of his head, and kisses it. But wait, he has a potion. He pours the poison into his ear and leaves him. He then convulses, heroically dying.
Who is that?
The king's brother and uncle to the prince.
Not exactly fraternal.
Not exactly avuncular. As time goes on, the queen returns and makes passionate action, finding the king dead. Claudius also returns and attempts to woo the queen. She seems partial, but in the end, accepts his love.
I'm the one who has made me mad. I say we will have no more marriage. No more marriage. Because all the time married already, all but one shall live. The rest keep as they are. To our nunnery, go. To our nunnery, go.
Love? His affection does not that way tend. Or what he spake, though it lacked form a little, was not like madness. There is something in his soul which his melancholy sits on brood. And I do doubt the hatch and disclose will be some danger, in which to prevent I have in quick determination set it down. He shall with speed to England.
Well, what did you think?
What was I supposed to think?
That didn't look like love to me.
Starting from scratch again?
It was a mess.
It's going to be chaos on the night.
Keep back. We're spectators.
Act 2, positions.
Wasn't that the end?
You call that an ending? With practically everyone on their feet? Over your dead body.
How am I supposed to take that?
Lying down. There's a design at work in all art. Surely you know that. We actors have to make up an aesthetic, moral, and logical conclusion.
Well, what's that in this case?
Well, it depends. We try to make it so that everyone who was marked for death dies.
Marked?
Well, between just desserts and tragic irony, we don't get a lot of scope for our particular talent. Generally speaking, things have gone about as far as they can possibly go when they get as bad as they can reasonably get.
Who decides?
Decides? It's written. We're tragedians, you see. We follow what is written for us. The good and unhappily, and the bad unluckily. That is what tragedy means.
You can't do that.
Why not?
I mean, people want to be entertained. They don't come expecting sordid and gratuitous filth.
You're wrong. They do. Murder, seduction. What do you want? Jokes?
I want a good story with a beginning, middle, and end.
And you?
Well, I prefer art to mere life if it's all the same with you.
It's all the same to me, miss. Usurped by his uncle, enshadowed by his mother's incestuous marriage, loses his reason, throwing the court into turmoil and utter disarray, switching between the melancholy and unrestricted lunacy, staggering between the suicidal and the homicidal. As you see here, we move forward. The king, tormented by guilt, shattered by his mother's incestuous marriage, attempts to confront his mother in a scene of provocative ambiguity. The king's dreary guilt leads him to send his nephew to England with two smiling accomplices, friends, courtiers. And so they depart with a letter to present to the English court. They arrive, and guess what? They present the letter to the English king. The English king! But wait, where's the prince? Where indeed the plot has thickened. A twist of fate and cunning desires has given them a letter to seal their deaths. Traitors, hoisted by their own petard, or victims of the gods. We shall never know.
This is taking me back to, when was it?
Are you familiar with this play?
No.
A slaughterhouse, 8 corpses, all cold. It brings out the best in us.
What do you know about death?
Death is what actors do best. They can die suddenly, heroically, comically, ironically, loudly, or from a great height.
Is that all they can do? Die.
No, they also kill beautifully. Some kill better than they die, and others die better than they kill. They're a team.
Which ones are which?
There's not much in it.
Actors! The mechanics of cheap melodrama. That's not death. You scream and you choke and you sink to your knees, but it doesn't bring death home to anyone. It doesn't start the whisper in your skull that says one day, you're going to die.
On the contrary, it's the only kind they do believe. They're conditioned to it.
No.
Audiences know what to expect, and they are prepared to believe it.
No! You can't act death. The fact of it has nothing to do with seeing it happen. It's just a man failing to reappear, that's all. Here 1 second and gone the next and never coming back. An exit, unobtrusive and unannounced, gathering weight until finally...
The king rises!
The king rises! Give on the play! Give on the play! Light! Light! Light!
That must be east then. I think we can assume that.
I am assuming nothing.
No, it's all right. There's the sun. East.
No, it was light all the time, and you just opened your eyes very slowly. If you've been facing that way, you'd swear that was east.
You're a massive prejudice.
I've been taken in before.
Good old east.
They're waiting to see what we're going to do. They're going to come rushing in from all sides, confusing us with ridiculous remarks, shouting obscure instructions, messing us about from here till breakfast, and getting our names wrong.
Ho, Guildenstern!
You're wanted.
Friends, both, go join you in further aid. Hamlet and his madness hath Polonius slain and dragged him from his mother's closet. Go, seek him out, speak fair, and bring the body to the chapel. I pray you hasten this. Come, Gertrude. We shall call up our wisest friends and tell them what we need.
Well, quite. Seek him out, etc.
You didn't like him? Who? Good God, I hope more tears are shed for us.
Well, it's progress, isn't it? Seek him out. Where does one begin?
Now that's a step in the right direction. All right, you go that way, I'll go this way.
All right. Wait. No. I'll go that way, and you go this way.
All right.
Wait, no. Wait, I've just thought. We ought to stick together. He might be violent.
Good point. I'll come with you.
No. I'll come with you.
Okay.
No. I'll come with you my way.
All right.
Wait, I've just thought. What if we both go, he could come here? That would be stupid, wouldn't it?
All right, I'll stay, you go.
All right. Wait! I've just thought. We ought to stick together. He might be violent.
Good point. Well, at least we're getting somewhere. Of course, he might not come.
Oh, he'll come.
We'd have some explaining to do.
He'll come. Take my word for it. He's coming.
What's he doing?
Walking.
By himself?
No.
Who's he with?
The old man.
Walking?
No!
Let's hide under the bed!
That was close.
There's a limit to what two people can do.
He was dead.
Of course he was dead.
Properly.
That's death, isn't it? But perhaps he'll come back this way. No, if we can't learn by experience, what have we got? Give him a shout. I thought we'd been into all of that.
Hamlet!
Don't be absurd.
Lord Hamlet! What have you done, my lord, with the dead body?
Compounded it with dust whereto it is king.
Tell us where 'tis that we may take it thence and bear it to a chapel.
Do not believe it.
Believe what?
That I can keep your counsel and not mine own. Besides, to be demanded of a sponge.
What replication should be made by the son of a king?
Take you me for a sponge, my lord.
Aye, that soaks up the king's countenance, his rewards, his authorities.
But such officers do the king best service in the end. He keeps them like an ape in the corner of his jaw, first mouthed to be last swallowed. And when he needs what you have gleaned, it is but squeezing you. And sponge, you shall be dry again.
I understand you not, my lord.
I'm glad of it. A knavish speech sleeps in a foolish ear.
My lord, you must tell us where the body is and go with us to the king.
The body is with the king, but the king is not with the body. The king is a thing.
A thing, my lord?
Of nothing. Bring me to him.
How now? What hath befallen?
Where the body is bestowed, my lord, we cannot get from him.
Where is he?
Without, my lord, guarded to know your pleasure.
Bring him before us.
All right then.
And yet it doesn't seem enough to have breathed such significance. And what have we done? Anyone would have been able to do that. We've contributed nothing.
It was a trying episode while it lasted, but They've done with us now.
Done what?
I don't pretend to have understood. Frankly, I'm not very interested. If they won't tell us, that's their affair. For my part, I'm only glad that's the last we've seen of them.
I knew it wasn't the end.
What else?
We're taking him to England.
Good sir, whose powers are these?
They have no way, sir.
How propose, sir, I pray you.
I get some part of Poland.
Who commands them, sir?
The nephew to old Norway, Rosencrantz.
I humbly thank you, sir. God be with you, sir.
Will it please you go, my lord?
Go you, I'll be with you straight. Go you a little before.
Is he there? Yes?
What's he doing?
Talking.
To himself?
Yes. He said we could go. Cross my heart.
I'd like to know where I am. And even if I don't know where I am, I'd like to know that. If we go, there's no knowing.
No knowing what?
If we'll ever come back.
We don't want to come back.
That very well may be true. But do we want to go?
We'll be free.
I don't know. It's the same sky.
We've come this far. And besides, anything could happen yet.
Are you there?
Where?
A flying start.
Is that you?
Of course it's me.
How do you know?
Oh, for God's sake.
We're not finished then.
We're still here, aren't we?
Are we? I can't see a thing.
You can still think, can't you?
I think so.
You can still talk.
What should I say?
Don't bother. You can still feel, can't you?
There's life in me yet.
What are you feeling?
My leg. Yes, it feels like my leg.
Well, how does it feel?
Dead.
Dead?
I can't feel a thing.
Well, give it a pinch.
Sorry.
That clears that up. Hard larboard!
Let go of the stage.
Reef down, me hearty.
Is that you, coxswain?
Hello, is that you?
Hard apart!
Easy as she goes.
Keep her steady on the lead.
Pull away, lads.
Fly the jib! Toss up, me ladies!
We're on a boat. Dark, isn't it?
Not for night.
No, not for night.
Dark for day.
Why, yes, it's dark for day.
We're heading north, of course.
Of course.
Land of the midnight sun, that is.
Of course. I think it's getting light.
Not for night.
This far north.
Unless we're off course.
Of course. Yes, it's lighter than it was. It'll be night soon. This far north. Should we go to sleep?
Tired?
No, I don't think I'd take to it. Sleep all night, can't see a thing all day. Those Eskimos must have a quiet life.
Where?
What?
I thought you... I've lost all capacity for disbelief. At this point, I don't think I could rise to even a little gentle skepticism.
Well, shall we stretch our legs?
I don't feel like stretching my legs.
I'll stretch them for you if you like.
No!
Well, we can stretch each other's. That way we won't have to go anywhere.
No, somebody might come in.
In where?
Out here.
In out here?
On deck.
Nice bit of planking, that is.
Yes, I'm quite fond of boats myself. I like the way they're contained. One is free on a boat. For a time. Relatively.
What's it like?
Rough.
I think I'm going to be sick.
Free to move, speak, extemporize, and yet we've not been cut loose. Free to find our own way. We're entitled to some direction.
I say, he's there.
What's he doing?
Sleeping.
It's all right for him.
What is?
He can sleep.
It's all right for him.
He's got us now.
He can sleep.
It's all done for him.
He's got us.
We've got nothing. All I ask is our common due.
For those in peril on the sea.
Give us this day our daily cue.
What now?
What do you mean?
Well, nothing is happening.
We're on a boat.
I'm aware of that.
Then what did you expect? We act on scraps of information. How much did he give you?
Who?
The king. He gave us some money.
How much did he give you?
I asked you first.
I got the same as you.
Why don't you say something original for once? No wonder the whole thing is stagnant. You don't take me up on anything. You just repeat what I say in different order.
I can't think of anything original. I'm only good in support.
I'm sick of making the running.
It must be your dominant personality. But we've got nothing to go on. We're out on our own here.
We're heading to England. We're taking Hamlet there.
And is that it then?
What?
What? Why?
We got a letter.
So,
It's all explained in the letter.
we take Hamlet to the English king. We hand over the letter. What then?
We say, Your Majesty, we have arrived.
Who are you?
We are Rosencrantz and Guildenstern.
Never heard of you.
Oh, we're nobody special.
What's your game?
Nothing, we've got our instructions.
First I've heard of
Let
it.
me finish. We come from Denmark.
What do you want?
Nothing, we're delivering Hamlet.
Who's he?
You've heard of him.
Oh, I've heard of him, all right, and I want nothing to do with it. But you march in here without so much as a by your leave and expect me to take in every lunatic you try and pass off with.
We've got a letter.
I see. Well, this seems to support your case, such as it is. It is a direct command from the King of Denmark himself, importing on Denmark's health, and England's too, that on the reading of this letter without delay, I should have Hamlet's head cut off.
Well, Tess. But then again, no. Let's keep things in proportion. Assume, if you like, that they're going to kill him. Well, he is man, he is mortal. Death comes to all of us eventually, and consequently, he would have died sooner or later. Or to look at it another way, we are little men. We don't know the ins and outs of the matter. There are wheels within wheels, etc. It would be presumptuous of us to interfere with the designs or the fate even of kings. All in all, I think it's best to leave well alone. Tie up the letter there, like that. They won't notice the broken seal, assuming you were in character. But what's the point? Don't apply logic.
He's done nothing to
Or
us.
justice.
It's awful.
But it could have been worse. I was beginning to think it was.
Position as I see it then. We, Guildenstern and Rosencrantz, are brought up with him, are summoned and arrive and are instructed to glean what afflicts him. We don't know what's in the letter. We take Hamlet to the English king, depending on when we get there who he is, and we hand over the letter, which may or may not contain something in it to keep us going. And if not, we are finished and at a loose end if they have loose ends. I don't think we missed any chances. Not that we're getting much help. If we stopped breathing, we'd vanish.
When I am laid in earth, may my wrongs create no trouble in my breast. When I am laid, may my wrongs create.
Out of the void, finally a sound. Well, on a boat, admittedly. Outside the action, admittedly. The perfect and absolute silence of the wet, lazy slap of water against water, and the rolling crack of timber breaks, giving rise to the suspicion, or the assumption, or the hope that something is about to happen. A thing like that. It could change the course of events. Go and see what it is.
It's someone singing a song.
We'll go and find her.
And then what?
I don't know. We're supposed to tune.
What for?
What? Quick, before we lose our momentum.
I say, something is happening. I thought I heard a song. Plausibility is all I presume.
Call us this day our daily tune.
Aha! All in the same boat then. Everybody out. Where are we?
Traveling.
Oh, of course. We haven't gotten there yet.
Are we all right for England?
You look all right to me. They're not very particular in England, you see. Alfred! Alfred! Oh, thank you, Alfred.
What are you doing here?
Traveling. You look all right to me. They haven't been very particular, right?
And you?
Well, in disfavor, our play offended the king.
Yes.
Tactless, really. He was a second husband himself.
It was quite a good play, nevertheless.
And it was getting good until they stopped it, of course.
What were you doing in there?
Hiding.
Stowaways.
Naturally, we didn't get paid, owing to circumstances ever so slightly beyond our control. Life is a gamble at terrible odds. Do you know that every number doubled is even?
Is it?
Well, we learn something new every day, at our cost. But we troopers go on and on. Do you know what happens to old actors?
What?
Nothing. They're still acting. Surprised then?
What?
Surprised to see us.
I knew it wasn't the end.
With practically everyone on their feet, what do you think of it?
We haven't got much to go on.
Who does?
It's possible.
Well, we could talk to him, but it's pointless.
But it's
It
possible.
wouldn't make much of a difference.
It's allowed.
Allowed, yes. There are no restrictions. We have not been prohibited from doing anything. No boundaries have been defined.
Within limits.
Certainly within limits.
A compulsion towards introspection is his chief characteristic, if I may put it like that. It does not mean he is mad. It does not mean he isn't. Quite often, it does not mean anything at all, which may or may not be a kind of madness.
It really boils down to his symptoms. Pregnant replies, mystic illusions, mistaken identities, arguing his father as his mother, that sort of thing. Daydreaming, hallucinations, stabbing his elders, abusing his parents, insulting his lover, and appearing hatless in public, which at his age is coming on a bit strong.
And talking to himself.
And talking to himself. Well, where has that got us?
He's the player.
His play offended the king.
Offended the king.
Orders his arrest.
Orders his arrest.
So he escapes to England.
On the boat to which he finds
Rosencrantz and Guildenstern, King Hamlet,
who also offended the king.
and killed Polonius.
Offended the king in a variety of ways.
In England. Well, that seems to be it.
Incidents! All we get is incidents! Is it too much to expect a little sustained action? At last! To arms! Pirates!
Up there.
Down there!
To my sword's length.
Action? They've gone. That was close. I've never thought quicker. Where's...
Once again, alone, on our own resources.
What do you mean? Where is he?
Gone.
Gone where?
Yes, we were dead lucky there, if that's the word I'm looking for.
Dead?
Lucky.
Is he dead?
Who knows?
He isn't coming back?
Hardly.
He's dead then. He's dead as far as we're concerned.
Or as far as he is. Not too bad, is it?
You don't understand. We've got our instructions, we've got a letter, we need Hamlet. It doesn't make sense without Hamlet. It's pointless without Hamlet.
I congratulate you on the unambiguity of the situation.
You don't understand. It is pointless without him.
Pirates could happen to anyone. Just deliver the letter and they'll send ambassadors from England to explain.
Can't you see? He left us home and dry, high and dry, drunk. He left us high and dry!
There!
We need Hamlet for our release.
There!
Everything's pointless without him.
There!
What are we supposed to do?
This.
Saved again.
us now? What do you think conversation's going to do?
I bet you all the money. I've got the year of my birth doubled is an odd number.
No!
Your birth.
We don't know what to do next. It doesn't make any sense.
Be happy. If you're not even happy, what's so good about surviving? We just have to go on.
Go where?
To England.
England? That's a dead end. I never believed in it anyways.
We just have to make our report and that'll be that. Surely.
I don't believe it. Ashore, a harbor, say we get off and we stop someone and we ask, do you know where the king is? And he says, oh yes, you go down this road, you take the next left, and I don't believe it.
It doesn't sound very plausible.
And even if we get there, what do we say?
We say, we've arrived.
And who are you?
We are Guildenstern and Rosencrantz.
Which is which?
Well, I'm your...
What's it all about?
Well, you see, we were taking Hamlet, but then some pirates...
I don't begin to understand. Who are all these people? What's it got to do with me? You turn up out of the blue with some cock and bull story.
We have a letter.
A letter. Yes, that is something, a letter. As England is Denmark's faithful tributary, that upon the reading of these contents and without delay, should those bearers, Rosencrantz and Guildenstern, put to sudden death.
They've gone. It's all over.
Where we went wrong was getting on the boat.
They had it in for us, didn't they? Right from the beginning. Who'd have thought that we were so important?
We haven't done anything. Why us? Who are we?
You are Rosencrantz and Guildenstern. That's enough.
No, it's not enough. To be told so little to such an end and still be denied an explanation.
That's it then, is it? The sun's going down or the earth's coming up as the theory has it. Where did it all begin? What was it all about? Couldn't we just stay put? No one's going to come and drag us off. We're still young, fit. We've got years. We've done nothing wrong. We didn't harm anyone, did we?
I can't remember.
All right then. I don't care. I've had enough. To tell you the truth, I'm relieved.
Our names shouted in a certain dawn, a message, a summons. There must have been a moment at the very beginning where we could have said no, but somehow we missed it. Rosen, Gil,
Heads. Heads. Heads.